Hi, freaky friends. This is Colleen.
And this is Margaret.
And we're the Cousins Weird.
Weird.
And we're virtual. Margaret's got COVID.
Margaret has COVID. I'm at the tail end of my quarantine, so this is my last day of quarantine, but I felt it was the first time I had it was the worst. This time is annoying.
Right.
I've been, really congested head cold. My ears have felt like full. I don't know. Pressure ears, headache, tired.
Not fun.
Just I've been really tired and really unfocused, so today's the first day I felt like I think I could do my research today. I've tried, and even just looking for a topic, I couldn't even concentrate enough to do that. I'm like, this is requiring too much brain power. I just need to sit back and watch shit on YouTube or Hulu or Netflix or all of them, because that's basically what I did.
Well, that's what you gotta do when you're sick. You gotta lay low and binge watch things.
Yep, I've been watched things, and I had a nice soft kitty on my lap.
Aww.
He kept me company. Yeah.
We had a fun weekend last weekend, though.
We did. It was very fun.
We went to the Sparkle Festival in Corning.
Yep.
We posted some pictures on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Margaret looked like a little elf.
It was very fun.
It was fun. We made an ornament, a glass. We got to do a blown glass ornament, which was really exciting.
And to know, my breath is inside mine.
Yeah. I hope it smells good.
Well, hopefully I'll never find out, because it'll never break.
Yes, I don't want... Oh my God, what if it broke and this terrible stench came out?
Oh, that smells like really bad, stale coffee and onions or something,
Something not good, and you're like, I'll never leave my house again.
Yeah. But fun times.
It's getting close to Christmas, and I think I'm done with my Christmas shopping.
I hate you.
I pushed through, and I was like, I'm getting this done. I can't stand it anymore. And I did.
I haven't had enough money to finish mine. You know what I mean? It's you gotta budget it out every week. I'm going to get this week, and then I'm going to wait till the next paycheck. And of course, I am self-employed basically. So if I don't work, I don't get any money.
Right.
So being sick has really put a huge stick in the cog of the machine, So looking next week, Monday, tomorrow, I have 4 people on my schedule, and I'm like, I don't know if I feel well enough for 4 people, but I'm going to do it.
Oh man, that stinks. So
yeah, that's all. It's all right. I think they're not back to back. There's time in between, which is good, because I think I'm going to be running on the slow end of the spectrum.
I bet. I had my work Christmas party last night, and I danced for 4 hours, and it was so much fun. I love dancing. I could dance all night long.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I need to mention something. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but 2 of the main podcasts I listen to, one of them is The Last Podcast on the Left. They just recently did a 2-part series on Jack Parsons. We did it first here, I'm just saying. And Morbid just released an episode on bog bodies, and we did that a year ago, so just saying.
Just saying, we're ahead of the times.
Yeah, we are. I like ours better, but theirs is fine.
I mean, we're hysterical.
Actually, the Jack Parsons one is they did a 2-parter, so there's this. I know that they do a lot of really good research on that podcast, so I'm sure that he mentions a lot of stuff that I didn't mention. So,
right. So since we're nearing Christmas, I'm going more into Christmas folklore, kind of extending how you did. So I kind of went into some folklore that is, because last year we did Krampus, and how he is he accompanies Santa and stuffs bad kids in a sack to take them to hell and all that. So I was looking up other things, and I found 3 that are similar to the Krampus in ways of they're not very nice.
Oh.
So the first person I'm going to talk about is Frau Perchta. She is in Alpine regions of southern Germany and Austria. She's also known as Bertha. That's the English version of her name. So Perchta is Bertha.
I've read about her because I've done a lot of research on a lot of different holiday folklore. So
sure you have heard her.
Yes.
I remember when I was doing Krampus, she had come up in some of the things that I had read. So anyway, she has a beak-like nose and wears rags. She kind of resembles an old crone, and she carries a cane with her. But
beating people.
She isn't a sweet little old lady or a weak little old lady. She does carry a knife under her skirt.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. She's obsessed with spinning in a neat home. And her name means shining light. So she's associated with the Epiphany. So the January 6th, which is the Epiphany, is considered the end of Christmas. That's technically her day. Some say her origins were pagan, and she was a pagan goddess, but Christianity came along and took over like the pagan holidays and turned her into an evil hag instead of a goddess. That's
of course
some of the
sounds like what things. Yeah. That's how things happen, you know.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it was something different. I would be surprised.
Right. This article I read quoted a folklorist named John Smith, which can you have more of a basic name?
I know. He's a basic
John
bitch.
Smith.
That's a basic bitch name for a guy.
Yeah. He says her legend started as a way to uphold traditions and customs in that area and to punish those who dare weave on any sacred day or work on a sacred day, especially her feast day Epiphany. And the more peasant women started to go to work outside the home, the focus went from them working on her feast day or doing things you're not supposed to on a feast day to just being lazy in general. So it kind of is like her legend comes about to make sure women aren't lazy. Like,
nice.
Like she thinks if your house isn't neat and tidy that you are horrible. But if you also neat and tidy your home during her feast day, you're horrible. Like you can't win with her.
Nope.
Legend says that she flies through the night with an army of lost souls who her army looks a lot like our friend Krampus. They have like horns and they're like kind of devilly goat looking things. Mm-hmm. She also carries with her the souls of unbaptized children.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, another way for Christianity to say you better baptize your kids or their souls going with Frau Perchta.
Nice.
Yeah. If you hear mountain wind and rumbling thunder, it's Percha leading the wild hunt, trying to making sure that you have a tidy home, that your spinning is done, your fibers have been spun, and you're not working on her feast day.
She'd hate me.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Me too. So while you're sleeping, her and her lost souls will enter your home, and if you don't have your flax spun, which is the stalk of a plant, they use the fibers
to make linen, yes.
Yeah. By January 6th, Frau will trample all your spinnings, all your fibers, and even set fire to your fibers. And if your home isn't tidy...
What a bitch!
I know. If your home isn't tidy and you don't leave out a bowl of porridge for her, because she loves herself some porridge.
They all love porridge, all those bastards.
Yeah, I know, they do. Must have been just like, it's like that area where you eat porridge is just what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes from trampling your stuff to she will disembowel you.
Oh, that's a real short leap there, huh?
Yeah.
Jeepers.
She disembowels you and then she'll stuff you full of straw, rocks, or some kind of garbage. Just shove it in there.
She's horrible.
She seals you back up again. She doesn't like a lazy woman. And if you're lazy, she's mad at you. But if you work on her feast day, she's mad at you. So like I said, you can't win with her.
And if you don't leave her a bowl of porridge, she's going to cut you open.
Yeah, like she's real pissed.
What a horrible, horrible, horrible person.
And she's kind of hideous, so I mean, just her showing up in my home will scare me with a bunch of Krampus-looking things. So she really doesn't like dishonest children.
Uh-oh.
She will scrape their tongues with glass.
Oh my God!
Yes.
What a specific thing to do.
And when they misbehave throughout the year and she comes, she'll stuff you right in her sack and take you. So she'll abduct your children and slice you open and shove you full of rocks, basically.
Nice.
But, Margaret, if you do what you're supposed to do throughout the year, she'll reward you with a small silver coin.
Oh.
So you either are good and get a dime, or you're not and you get disemboweled. So
I think the not getting disemboweled is the best gift.
I know.
Right?
I don't care about keep the dime. Keep the dime.
Just keep your little knife in your little knife sheath there, old hag.
Yeah. And she's still part of the Christmas festivities to this day in that area of the world. There is a parade of masked men, mostly men, dressed as her demons. So kind of like the Krampus thing that they do, the Krampus run. But this is her demons. So these men dress up as her demons. And they try to frighten the evil spirits of winter by trying to be more scary than the evil spirits of winter.
Okay.
So that's the tale of the gut-splitting, child-snatching evil crone.
Okay.
Frau Perchta.
Nice.
So now we're headed to 14th century Alsace-Lorraine region of France. This is close to the German border, so it's kind of close, near-ish where we were. This is a legend of Hans Trapp, who basically is the opposite of jolly old Saint Nick. Okay. Legend says he was so mean and greedy, he was excommunicated from the Catholic Church because they thought he was in ranks with the devil because he was so awful and mean. So because he got excommunicated from the church, his village that he lives in, were like, you need to leave. So he gets banished from there. So he heads to the hills and makes a home in the mountains of Bavaria, Germany. So this guy just takes off and goes into the woods. And it's like, fine, you think I'm mean enough, I'll go live by myself. Well, he's there and he's kind of mad. And he starts thinking, I think it'd be kind of cool if I could start eating people.
Oh, nice. That's what everybody thinks.
As one does when they're in the woods.
You're in the woods. Like, wish I could eat people. Because, everybody thinks that.
He started dressing kind of like a scarecrow. He would stuff his black cloak with straw. And he tried to lure children into the woods so he could try to eat them.
That's terrible.
Yeah. A shepherd boy, about 10 years old, crossed his path one day and he stabbed him with a sharp stick. He drags him back to his little hut in the woods. He slices him up and roasts him.
That's awful.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Oh my God. No, okay. So he stuffs his cloak with straw to lure people? Like, I'm sorry. If I see some random dude in the woods, smelly, with a cloak on, with straw coming out everywhere, I'd be like,
trying to hide, and then basically...
Bye. He's trying to
hide, like a scarecrow.
Oh, so that when people walk by, he can snatch him.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
But before he could take a bite of this young shepherd boy, God said, I had enough of this. And he strikes him with lightning and splits his head open.
Oh.
Now, this didn't stop Hans Trapp.
He probably deserved... I think if anybody deserved their head being split open with lightning, it's this guy.
Yeah, for sure. He somehow, and I could not figure out how it went from him getting his head split open to him getting a gig with Santa. But it happens.
Okay.
Apparently he is like, okay, I'll stop eating kids, but I need to do something. So he ends up getting a gig with Santa he can identify the bad children.
Makes perfect sense.
Right.
This man who likes to kill children and roast them and eat them should work with Santa. It makes that sounds perfect.
So the tradition the legend said that on Christmas Eve, he goes around and marks the children he would eat. So Santa knows which ones are bad.
That's awful.
Another way, like, it's funny how all these, like, tales, even Santa Claus is just things we tell our children so they stop being bad.
Yeah.
And then the first
Santa's more of a reward for being good than a punishment for being bad, though. You know what I mean? Like, in the olden days, they would terrorize their children and say,
basically, traumatize their children.
Yeah, to being like, if you're bad, then this cat's gonna come at night and eat you when you sleep. Like,
yes,
what? No, that's not good.
It's terrible. And like the first one, Frau Perchta, it was like, how can we control women so they keep their house clean and get their work done, even when they're working outside the home, and control children? We'll do a horrible witch lady that will disembowel you if you don't have a clean house.
Right.
It's just like made up stuff just to control our children and women. Actually, Hans Trapp is based off a real person. There was a knight named Hans von Troth, and he lived between 1405 and 1503. And he got in this big like fight with the Catholic Church about property. And he wasn't a nice dude. And the church got really pissed because he was supposed to do something and he didn't, which led to him getting excommunicated. Because once you pissed off the church, they were just like, you're out. They didn't care. He never ate any kids or anything.
Well, that's good.
But he just wasn't a nice guy. People didn't like him. But that's where they kind of got the idea for him, I guess. And to this day, children are still warned about the spirit of Hans Trapp, who will visit as a scarecrow if you're not good. How horrifying.
Yeah.
That's a scary movie. That's not Christmas.
No.
Like, that's what you see at Halloween. You don't see creepy scarecrows at your door to eat you on Christmas Eve. But when you live near France and Germany, that's what you do. That's what happens. So that is our friend Hans Trapp. And then last but not least.
Never least.
Is Pierre Fouettard, which I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize. I cannot speak French in any way, shape, or form. He's a legend in France and in Belgium. And his other name is Father Whipper. So you can get an idea. Let me guess.
He whips people.
You can get an idea what he does. He wears dark robes. He has all over his face. He has messy hair and beard. So he's kind of creepy looking too in his own accord. He doesn't have, no jolly old Saint Nick looking vibes. He's creepy, messy-haired, dirty-faced man with a beard, and he comes after you. Children can hear him coming from the crapping.
Yeah.
The cracking of his whip. So when you hear the whip a cracking, Father Whipper does. So instead of jingle bells of Santa, this dude comes, we could hear
nice. Is that a Devo song? Whip it. Whip it good.
It's a theme song.
Yeah.
Good. Do.
Do.
Like Krampus, Lapierre follows Santa to punish children, the bad kids. He'll give them coal and beatings. So he not only puts coal in your stocking, he beats your ass with his whip when he shows up to your house. Because we like to traumatize our children with creepy men in beards and dirty faces and black robes that follow Santa around and beat their ass. That's what we do.
Santa's nice, though. He only gives them coal. This guy whips them.
Yeah. His tale originates from all the way back to 1150. So he's the oldest folklore that I have in this tale. They say that originally he was a evil innkeeper or possibly a butcher. It's like it said two different things. There's not really consistency with that. First, these three boys were on their way to a religious boarding school, and him and his wife kidnapped them because they wanted money, and they robbed them and slit their throats and left them in the woods. Legend says that St. Nicholas heard of this, and he resurrected the children. So he brings them back to life in front of Le Pierre, and seeing the miracle that just happened, Le Pierre repents and is like, I am so sorry. I should never have done such a terrible thing to these 3 young boys. But as penance, Santa says, for all the rest of eternity now, you must follow me and beat the asses of bad children.
That does not sound like a punishment. I bet he enjoyed it.
No, he probably loves it.
Yeah.
So
as penance.
All 3 of these folklore are based
Santa's
on...
clueless about, like, BDSM shit, okay?
Yeah.
He's clueless.
Santa doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
You know. But, like, all 3 of them, you're gonna get either disemboweled, beaten with whips, or, you know, what did I say the other one did? I can't remember.
He eats
eat children.
Yeah.
So you're either gonna get disemboweled and shoved hay, straw, garbage in you, or be eaten by some creepy scarecrow man, or get your ass beat in some coal by some creepy bearded weirdo.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Woohoo! You in the Christmas spirit yet?
What's that?
Are you in the Christmas spirit yet?
I know. And, you know, I love, like, I wish we could have I thought of this sooner, in Victorian Christmas cards, because they were so freaking bizarre. And there's a lot of times Krampus was in it. I'm going to see if I can find some Christmas cards online that have these 3 legends in them, because I bet there's some out there.
Probably.
Because to this day, they still talk about them in these regions. And I'm just like, let's just traumatize our children. Can you imagine, you know, like, I remember being young and then, like, hearing bells outside and thinking, oh my God, Santa's coming. And I ran to bed, and, you know, my dad was out there with them, but I didn't know. Do they, like, go out with a whip and start
like, probably. I heard whipping from Mommy and Daddy's room. It was the Father Whipper. Sure.
Father Whipper. Oh yes, darling, it was Father Whipper. Not your father's a whipper.
Yeah.
Oh yep. God. So that's my tale. I had 3 scary things that,
you know, one thing I will say is because I got diagnosed with COVID. I took a home test. And I'll tell you what, that test, because they have the control and then they have the actual test, the positive, negative. The test line showed up within like a minute and a half. Like, it was there, dark, and I'm like, oh.
Before the control one.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I have COVID. And I had it. Like, it was like, yeah, it's there. You got lots of it. But they prescribed me that Paxlovid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, one of the side effects is you can have a metallic taste in your mouth that could last for a month. And I'm like, well, that sounds great. That's real safe sounding. And, like, I'm taking it, and at first it was nothing. I'm like, okay. And now, like, I always have this weird, I wouldn't even call it metallic. It's this, like, acrid taste in the back of my throat. Like,
ew.
Almost like a burny, acidic
yuck
thing back there. And I'm like, okay, I need to always have, like, a cough drop or something in my mouth, because I'm like, it's like bile. It's like making me taste this horrible bile-like thing. And I'm like, I feel like I'm going to puke just from the flavor of this. And I'm like, I need it, though, because I have to go to work one day.
Right.
I do think, like, this morning when I woke up, like, yesterday I didn't feel like I was as congested as I had been. And this morning I felt a lot better. So, like, it's working, you know, it prevents the virus from duplicating. So
I'm going to warn you, though, and I mean, this happened to me after I had the infusion, but my mom and then someone at work that had whatever that medicine's called, I forget all of a sudden. You do get the diarrheas, like, after you take it.
Like a little, yeah.
It gets like, your body sheds all the stuff out, and you get the rheas. Yeah. So I'm sorry that you'll have to do that.
That's all right. I've had it before. It's not anything I've never had to deal with it. I have to go to work tomorrow, so, I have to stop in the middle of a facial and go shit my brains out then. That's what I'm going to have to do. Not that I want to, but I will if I have to.
Yeah, girls got to do what a girl's got to do.
Really. I was saying to Colleen before we started that I took a shower today, and it was like, I'm feeling better, and my sinuses are clearing out because I could smell myself. And I'm like, I need to take a shower because my armpits smell bad. Yeah. When you're sick and you're too tired to move, you're like, I should take a shower. Like, I think I'll just lay down for a minute. And then,
yeah, I know
you fall asleep and wake up and forget what you were doing.
Catching glimpses of myself while we were doing this, you would think I was the one that had COVID. Because if you could see what I look like right now,
you look
my
fine.
Hair is like, I look like Frau Perchette, or whatever. Perchta. I look like Frau Perchta. I look like an old crow and my hair is all over the place. I'm going to come in and slit your gullet.
So full of garbage.
It was a short one, but I was trying to stay on the Christmassy weird train.
I liked it.
So that's what I got.
Fun.
So if you want to see pictures from this episode or any other episode, you're going to go to our Facebook and Instagram and follow us there because we post pictures. You'll know when our episodes post and you'll be able to share them with your friends because it's that time of year where you should be sharing with others. And what better gift to give your friends than to share an episode of Thecousinsweird?
Just don't share
can't
COVID.
Think of anything better.
Don't share your COVID with them, though.
No. But you can share this episode about
definitely
creepy,
germ-free.
Yes. Creepy Christmas folklore. We had 2 now. You can share both episodes.
We've had more for Christmas. And then the ones from last year too are just as fun.
And I'm going to be resharing those out on our Facebook just to get them back out because those are golden. So we want to make sure
they were great.
If you missed it, you're going to get to see it again. So
and my Christmas
we'll put those up there. So make sure you're following us on both those platforms.
And about how the Christmas tree and how they would string the intestines of their foes around the tree and then light it on fire. That is the origin of the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
We must appreciate it.
I'm glad I carried that tradition out to this day.
Me too. I'm going to crochet some intestines to put on mine as garland.
I like it.
Yeah. I won't light it on fire.
If they have an idea of episode we should do, how can they contact them?
They could send us an email to thecousinsweird@gmail.com. Or they could send us a message directly through Facebook or Instagram.
And if you want to support our podcast, obviously the number one way to support us is to share our sharing is caring. You share our episodes with your friends, and again,
subscribe.
Rate us. One of the things that I've learned recently, and I probably should have known this before now, but is that when you review us on Apple Music or Spotify, if you give us reviews or ratings, that boosts our algorithm. And that's the only thing the algorithm understands is if we get reviews, and it doesn't understand as much as the listens, which is crazy. So if you could take 2 seconds as a Christmas present for Margaret and I to go onto the platform of choice and if
specifically
you
even if you don't listen on Spotify, go on Spotify and subscribe and rate us and give us a review, and that'll definitely help us.
Subscriptions and ratings and reviews are huge with the algorithm, and it will really boost us and will give us more subscribers. So that would be a huge Christmas present to us. That's the best way you can support a podcast.
And it doesn't cost anything. Woo-hoo!
It's free. Subscribing is free. Now, if you wanted to support us financially, you can go to patreon.com/Thecousinsweird, and you get bonus stuff when you do that. So $1 a month gets you bonus episodes and a sticker, and then $5 a month, your freaky friend for $1. $5 a month, you become a terrible trender. You get the same things. You also get ad-free episodes, a yearly gift, and then you will also get a monthly chat with us on the Skypes, which we are doing right now.
Yes.
And we can talk about all sorts of crazy things, and it's just a free-for-all. There's no, it's just, chit chat with us.
Yeah, it's fun because we're fun.
We are fun.
Even when I'm half dead from COVID.
Yes. And, hopefully things will start turning around where we're be more consistent like we used to be, because with sicknesses lately, we have not been consistent, and we're hoping we can get back on track.
Yeah, we were on a pretty good trajectory, and then we've had all these weird sicknesses and missing weeks, and we've kind of fallen back for downloads, so we're hoping to get back on track now.
If you could, if you enjoy our content, if you could go and subscribe on your platform and do a rating, that's going to be huge for us, and it'll boost us back up again, which we so appreciate you. People that listen to us every week, every time we download an episode and I see people instantly listening, it's like my little heart just pitter-pattered.
Yes, makes me happy.
I think that's it.
All right, stay freaky. Bye.